Fly. Okay. So now the sound should be here. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Excellent. All right. So
Fly. Okay.
it is working. I
So
can hear
now
it.
the sound should be here. That's what I'm seeing right now.
All right.
The awful
Excellent.
part
All
is that
right.
I had some
So
feedback noise, and that's
it is
enabled.
working. I
So
can hear
now
it.
the sound
That's all
should be
right. All
here.
right.
That's what
Well,
I'm
we'll
seeing.
start over. Welcome everybody to week 2 of Rising Summoners League, featuring our first matchup between Ledoux MB as facing off against 67 Atoms. Neither team having a win, as Ledoux was forced to forfeit all of their matches last week, and 67 Atoms could not win either or any of the 3 games. Neither team having a win, a lot of powerful picks, including the all of their matches last week,
were removed,
and we see a lot of the very powerful tanks being picked up early. And we commentated on Cassiopeia maybe being able to shut down Cho'Gath if he starts snowballing out of control, getting towards his new average cap of 5,000 to 6,000 health, as well as a Jinx Braum versus a Lucian Nautilus. So seeing all of those champions and picks, what do you think teams are going to have to watch out for heading into this match?
Well, I really like the composition that Blue Side has gotten with the Jinx, with the Cho'Gath, a strong tank line, a lot of engage, like running into your face, and we're gonna force you to team fight us. I think it works very well, and I don't really see how Red Side's gonna be able to find. Like, they're gonna have to play a little bit differently if they want to be able to kill those tanks, and that's
Yes,
what
and the
I'm
blue
really looking
side,
forward. What
the
kind
blue
of
side
players will they pull?
is
Yeah,
the blue side is 67 Atoms, while the red side is Ledoux MB.
yeah.
So definitely seems like a stronger draft phase from the 67 Atoms side, with a lot more focus on getting their Victor and Jinx, 2 very powerful carries out ahead early, while having an absolutely massive front line in the way of Cho'Gath, Volibear, and Braum. But that's not to say that Ledoux MB does not have much the same composition, as they do have 3 very strong tanks.
The Nala, Zac, Poppy, the playmaking ability of those champions is just through the roof. If they are able to get some picks with those, with the Lucian damage and Cassio damage, you're gonna see the health bars melting.
It is going to be absolutely critical that Ledoux MB takes down that Cho'Gath early and stops him from spiraling out of control, as he can now infinitely gain health. Once Cho'Gath gets above about 5,000 to 6,000 health, and if he can get his Guardian Angel, it becomes virtually impossible for him to be killed again. It does take a lot of time, a lot of summoners, and normally ends up with your team dead. So with that knowledge in mind, we hit the load screen on the side of 67 Atoms. We have Milk Squeezy in the top lane, Kill Me Dude in the jungle, Vroom Carnation at mid lane, Connor H314 at ADC, and Ica 303 at support. And for the side of
them on LMB, there's Atomic Donut. I love that name. Gray,
I love
in
it.
the jungle, CSR, because I'm not going to be pronouncing all those letters. No way. In mid lane, Muto level X as ADC, and Rolex 456 as support. If you had to give the advantage to one of those teams, which one would it be?
Unfortunately for Ledoux, I got to go for 67 Atoms on this one. They look more well drafted. They also seem to have a lot more mastery on a lot more of their champions than their opponents, as well as the skins. I got to say, I like the skins better, but maybe that's just because I used to be a Volibear main.
Well, skins win games. We know that.
Skins do win games. Absolutely. Skins bring wins. Call me a terrible person because I decided to buy Xayah and Rakan with their skins, even though I had no money to do so. Had no money.
You see, I'm going to be rooting for Ledoux on this one, just because of what Nahlis and Zac can pull off, like, as plays. I'm expecting a lot of early aggression. I'm hoping for some, because it makes for very interesting games. And
I'm hoping for an invade.
If that's what
I want an
happens,
invade.
Ledou's gonna be in a very good spot.
Absolutely.
Sadly for you, it doesn't look like there's gonna be some invades, especially with Kill Me Dude leaving the base a little bit late.
Man, like, teams know me from week one. That was all I wanted, and it didn't happen. I want to see some invades tonight, people. If you're listening, I want some invades.
We're gonna be seeing just two very safe starts. Ledoux might have been able to invade the blue side of the jungle, but we have Milk Squeezy just checking this out, not being afraid of anything, walking in there, face checking 5-6 bushes like a man. Because who needs
Absolutely.
wards when you have a face?
Who needs wars when you're Cho'Gath? You have a Q.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will be seeing very standard buff starts, as well as we see very standard first items on both sides. Nothing real special or cheesy coming out of either team at the moment. That's not to say that it won't happen later in the game. We also see, I see some nice little chat in there with the good luck, have fun. I see you, Atomic Donut. Yeah, absolutely. Just standard buff starts going to be happening here. Blue buff for the side of Ledoux and red buff for the side of 67 Atoms.
So we might be expecting around 3 minutes some gank top lane, which will probably happen seeing that, especially against the Cho'Gath, it might be interesting to try to get him a little bit behind right off the bat. But
It might be. That's certainly a possibility, although it looks like it might be a little longer than 3 minutes, as we do have two fairly slow first clear junglers.
both teams just pretty happy to farm until they're not. Cassio trying to get established dominance in the lane against the Victor.
A little trading going on back and forth there. Cassio definitely, or Victor, excuse me, definitely underestimating the damage that Cassiopeia's poisoned poison-empowered auto attacks can do.
Especially level 2, she's a very scary laner to go against. Because
Absolutely.
once that poison hits you, you know you're in it for a lot of pain.
And absolutely, a ton of pain.
We can see that showing the farm right now. Slight lead already for Cassiopeia.
Almost probably will approach over the next couple of waves double Victor's farm.
Which is quite surprising from this early in the game.
It certainly would be very surprising to watch. Well, actually, it would be surprising, but almost expected in a way, because Victor, very early, he doesn't have a lot of poke. Yeah. He doesn't have any upgraded hex cores to make his Death Ray clear a minion wave in a single ability. He also doesn't have a lot of poke in the form of his Q right now.
He's still balanced in the early game, so...
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, he'll start doing stupid amounts of damage late game, assuming that he doesn't get too far behind. So, it should be fine.
Yeah, nothing to be worried about here. The only scary point is that, yeah, you'll maybe want to gank that Cassiopeia, but we'll see what Volibear decides to do.
We did see Zach just a second ago popping a vision cone on Volibear's blue side of the jungle. So he does know where Volibear is, or at least he knows where he isn't, as we see him go onto the Victor in the mid lane for the first blood going to Cassiopeia. Volibear, or at least the Cho'Gath, definitely should have seen that vision cone pop on the minimap and let their Victor know that he was in a lot of danger there.
As I know you're against Zach. The name of the game for Ledoux was early aggression. Apparently the stream is a little bit laggy. We're going to try to be fixing that soon. But yeah, you know there's going to be some early aggression, so you need to get those wards up. You cannot play in the dark, especially not against Zach. Because he will find you and he will gank you.
Especially because Zach, especially in the mid lane, with his jump, can reach just about anywhere that you might be hiding, unless it is in the opposite river bush. The width and length of his jump is almost that entire mid lane there.
Mm-hmm.
So even under your turret, you are not safe. You will be chain CC'd, and it will suck. I speak from experience of many, many, many Zac ganks.
Yeah,
I don't like playing Ziggs into Zac.
if you played against a Zac before, you know exactly what it feels like.
So many all chat messages of Zac saying "get good." As we see Zac, he's hanging out a little bit in the bot lane here. Might be trying for a very similar gank as he is not spotted in that bush. Nautilus going to be engaging on the Jinx. Zac hitting that beautiful knock up onto Jinx, smiting her to slow her down. We do have Zac getting the kill onto the Jinx, and they want more, forcing Brahm's flash so that he gets out of there.
4 summoners use bot lane, all defensively and not very effectively, as another gank happens.
Volibear going to be ganking the Cassiopeia. That's going to pop his passive, and Cassiopeia with her improved poison actually going to get Victor getting level 6 off that. That's going to turn it into her favor as Zac smiting for the kill.
What
Absolutely
a strong early game.
Ridiculous.
Just gank after game, gank after gank. Tons of early aggression coming out.
Man, Ledoux heard me saying something bad about them. They were like, not happening. We're gonna just win this game now.
You think we're gonna lose? We're gonna show you what we can do.
I mean, after forfeiting twice last week, I am sure that they were not happy with having to do that. Coming out almost with a vengeance, it would seem, as they have gotten out to a very nice early lead of almost approaching 3K, a little over 2.5 right now.
Well, once you are able to get first blood and just such strong lanes, it's to be expected that you're going to be ahead. But by no means is 67 Atoms out of this yet. They got
it would take quite a bit.
Yeah, they got the very strong tank line, and if they're able to group in the mid game, it doesn't matter if they're 1k behind, 2k behind, 5k behind. They're gonna melt your faces, and in the case of Cho'Gath, literally eat it off, right off your shoulders.
Absolutely, as we see Cassiopeia getting her first blue buff from Zac, so she's going to be going back and just poking the hell out of Victor, just not even having to worry about mana now. And we see Zac jumping on the Volibear in his own jungle. Volibear just powerless to do anything about it, as he's going to have to just walk away, as Zac uses his ult, maybe not wanting to use it there, as he didn't get the kill on Volibear, and
Probably
it really didn't serve much. Probably a misclick. Zac actually thinking about it. They're thinking about a turret dive, and then just deciding, nah.
Realizing how bad of an idea this was.
Yeah, you're far ahead, but you're not that far ahead. Turrets will still ruin your day.
But it looks
Poppy
like
doing some little bit of taunt BM to the Cho'Gath there.
Well, it's a top lane. It's all fun games. Even if you fight, is there really somebody who's going to die to that wet noodle fight? Not really.
Ooh, I don't know. If Cho'Gath had a little more mana, maybe, because he could definitely chomp down that Poppy to a good amount.
And it's especially tricky for the Poppy in this matchup because she's used to having tons of armor and magic resist. However,
we do see the Cassiopeia roaming top at the moment. Poppy going a little bit too aggressive there. Definitely should have let the Cho'Gath push so that the Cassiopeia could have cut off his escape, maybe even ulted him for a stun.
In bot lane.
Absolutely. We have Zac even behind the turret as he might not even be needed as the bot lane goes full aggressive, kills the Jinx. Lucian going to be ulting to try and pick up that Braum, and he will. Popping heal to stay alive. Absolutely beautiful, and they're probably going to take this turret. This might be first turret going over to the side of Ledoux.
Ledoux doing a very good job right now at just making the game go even faster than it's supposed to be.
Oh, we have another gank going into top lane as Ledoux picks up first turret, forcing the Poppy's flash there. Defensively as she tries to get away. Cho'Gath just had the mana. He's not going to need it as he does chomp the Poppy, and the Volibear passive just barely going to keep him alive. 67 Atoms finally finding their way onto the board there with that kill, going over to the Cho'Gath. Unfortunately, Cho'Gath did not feast the Poppy, so he will not be getting a stack from that. And Red Team was able to trade a turret and a dragon. Definitely not worth for 67 Atoms. This is the kind of trades that you don't want.
And there's another
and
trade.
It just keeps coming. Here comes the flash and the ult on Zac. as he's going for another gank. Going to be forced to pop Ghost there to try and stay alive. Victor now running towards the top lane. Volibear sitting there trying to protect him. Zach going to just jump in. He doesn't care.
They do not have a pause button. It's
and Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia just going to be picking that up with the poison. The poison improved auto is going to be getting her the double kill on the Volibear. And why did you teleport, Cho'Gath? That's probably going to be your life, as the ultimate will be stunning him. Trading aggro very well on the turret there. No kills are going to come from it, but Cho'Gath will have to be very careful. He might be able to get the Zac if he were to Q them. And he's thinking about it. Zach's going to be going on the Cho'Gath. The smite used.
He knew it.
He got the Q. They are going to be teleporting to the Zac blob, though, to save his life, make sure that he can respawn. The Jinx ult going to be missing. Well done by Team Ledoux.
And they go again.
And now they go in the bot lane. This is an exciting game so far. Holy moly. So much aggression. Oh, the Lucian maybe going a bit too aggressive there as Braum flashes forward with Jinx getting the kill. The heal being blown as well.
But Nautilus
trying for the trade kill. The stun is going to be coming down just in time as Jinx gets the double kill onto the Nautilus. That was a very good fight bot lane. Very close.
Very well played by 67 Adams. Like, just trading aggro, doing everything to keep everybody alive. Lots of damage, and really turning that over-aggression of Ledoux back to them.
Very good punish.
If there's a way back in this game,
it's going to be through that Jinx and that Victor. And they got to get those two up there.
That aggressivity. At this point, you know Ledoux's going to be going for your butts, trying to gank you and just kill you over and over again. So wait for them and kill them when it happens.
Absolutely, and as we look at the goal discrepancy, we do see that the only member of Team 67 Adams that is at all ahead in gold is in the ADC position. We do have Jinx with, she just fell behind in farm, but she was about even in gold with Lucian. Otherwise, when you look across the board, you have Poppy.
Leading. Well, at least it's pretty even. 20 gold, we're not going to start splitting hair.
Yeah. Oh, we're not going to get any more time as the multiple ults are blown. Zach picking up that kill on the Volibear jungle. He was trying to get his red, but definitely Ledoux coming in and stealing that from him, giving it to the Zach. And we're going to have to see if 67 Adams can stop this game that is, or bring this game back in to their control in some form as it's quickly spiraling away from them.
And at this point, they're pretty much in the dark when it comes to the game. As we can see right here, they do have some vision, but it's really nothing compared to the entire control that Ledoux has ball lane. So that's where they want to be making their plays. That's where you're going to see some more aggression soon. Speaking of maybe a little bit sooner than I thought.
Absolutely, Ledoux pushing without any worry at all, as their vision game has been on point. They will see any threats coming long before they need to worry about being ganked, as the jungler is not a Master Yi or a Hecarim. It will take time to get there. But we do have the Cassiopeia overextending a little bit there, as the Victor ult will be dropped and Volibear will be picking up that kill onto the Cassiopeia. Not sure that's what you wanted to do, as you most definitely want your Victor to start getting some kills under his belt, or to start bringing your way back into this game. And we go in bot lane. Braum going to be ulting Nautilus as well. Jinx trying to keep the Braum alive at this point, almost falling herself. We have Volibear. Oh, if they could just get that one more auto. But Zach, he's coming in for the cleanup. Wow. What a fight. And we are going to have the Zach flashing for the Braum. And that will be the double kill going over to Zach. Wow, absolutely phenomenal Zach gameplay so far. As well as even the Nautilus and the Lucian, they were able to trade that very well. And on the side of 67 Adams, maybe tunneling just a little bit too much for that Lucian kill, especially on the Volibear side. He should have noticed that Zach was there and that he could not continue and get the Lucian. He didn't have the abilities necessary.
It was a very nice try to be flanking around the early aggression, trying to punish it, but it just didn't turn out to okay at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had a little bit of an ult trade there, as we had, or not trade, excuse me. We had an ult usage by Zach there in that fight there, trying to. Oh, and we lose Milk Squeezy.
He's back.
He's back. We had some connection errors there. Looking at the mid lane difference, we can definitely see that Cassiopeia far outclassing her laning opponent with an almost 40 CS lead, as well as a lead of 4 kills and 1 assist, and 2 less deaths.
Well, she has a 2K advantage in the bank right now. So
Yeah.
that's definitely a massive one.
Yeah, and she also has her Marilla Nomicon. She's over halfway there to her Archangel staff. She might be working on a Rylai's first, though, as she does have Tear and Blasting one, but she also has that Amplifying Tome there. Not quite sure which one she's going to build into. And on the other side, we have Victor with virtually nothing. He has Sorcerer's Shoes. He has not even the perfect Hex Core. Yeah, just his first Hex Tech Core upgrade and a Ruby Crystal. And that's the story for much every lane. We have the opponents. Ledoux having far more items than their opponents in 67 atoms.
The Zach play so far has been amazing, really snowballing every single lane. And
so far, he's my MVP. This match, he's definitely my MVP. And here he goes again. He's showing us why he is our MVP. Braum gonna be ulting to try and stop it. Zach using his ult as well. Although they might actually get a kill here, as the Volibear does pick up a kill on the Lucian. Going a little bit too aggressive on the part of Ledoux. It was definitely a good engage, but luckily for 67 Atoms, they were able to get 2 of their members over there quickly and gain a numbers advantage on their opponents. And we have the Cassiopeia going 1v3 and
almost
dying to the Victor.
But getting stunned by the Victor. It just doesn't forgive.
It does not forgive. And Zach, though, did pick up the kill on the Jinx there, so that was a good trade.
Yeah.
The Cassiopeia did go down, but you did take out the most fed member on 67 Atoms.
But 67 definitely clawing their way back right now into the game just by trading kills nonstop. They're not that far ahead. It's only that far behind. It's only 6 kills. Sure, they still need to make up for the farm at the turrets, but
they are going to need to. They're going to need to definitely start making up that 8K. Well, it's better on the scoreboard, is what it looks like. But in terms of gold, they've actually started falling further behind. They were only 3 or 4K down, but recently they've started falling to 6, 7, and 8K. It's now almost 9K.
Hopefully they can, because with all this aggression, I want this game to go on for as long as possible. Personally.
Absolutely, this is a bloodbath. This is not a tactful game of what can we trade, what can we afford to give up, when do we want to engage. This is, let's just smash our faces into them and see what happens. Over and over again. We see Jinx and Braum trying to defend that inner middle turret. And there's the Zac! They didn't even know the Victor was there, but that's just going to be absolute miscalculation as Cassiopeia picks up a kill on the Jinx and the Victor. Volibear going to be ulting there, trying to slow the bleeding on this fight, as they lose Braum to the Cassiopeia as well. Cassiopeia just shredding through people. Volibear going to pop Zac's passive.
Maybe?
Oh, I don't think so. She's a little low.
Can Zac work his magic? Maybe.
Zac, oh, it might happen. We might see a pentakill here. And we will see. No! Oh no! Zac got it. Oh.
What a troll.
Zac just being a tease. And we just see it. Oh my gosh, Zac saying it was the Sunfire.
He
the Sunfire.
Every word of it.
Sure, Zac. That's what it was. It was the Sunfire. Yeah. Absolutely.
It wasn't the Q or the W that he threw at the last second.
No, it was the Sunfire. Yeah. It was the Sunfire. Shh. I got your back, Zac. I got you, fam. Hey, I mean, you know, he'll watch the stream eventually.
Anything.
Or he won't.
MVP.
Oh, yeah.
Anything.
I mean, as long as the game continues to go in the direction he goes, unless he throws it, he's going to be my MVP.
Yeah. Well, maybe that just because of that, I'll rethink it, but...
oh, I see how you are, you little turncoat. All right.
Yeah. When somebody gives the pentakill, you need to give the pentakill back. Like, you need to make sure your teammate gets it. At least he gave the
Depends.
scuttle crab an excuse.
He gave the scuttle. See, it's
Yeah.
fine. He gave the scuttle crab back.
Apology. So,
That's an offering.
yeah, we're all good. We're back to just being friends.
So Cho'Gath, he has not been building either a spirit. He's built neither a spirit visage nor a guardian angel, instead electing to go a rod of ages, along with the components towards, let's see, a giant's belt and a chain vest. I know it's something.
Isn't gonna be enough for this fight, though.
Oh no, it's not going to be enough for this fight, as we see the Volibear diving the backline, taking a lot of damage as he ults, trying to do something, but Zach did an amazing job of keeping, holy crow, as he did an amazing job of keeping 67 Atoms completely split up as he picks up a triple kill that fight, making it a 5-for-1 in favor of Ledoux MB, as the only person, strangely enough, that 67 Atoms was able to take down was the Nautilus.
Yeah, because, it's a tank.
It's a tank. It's a frontline. He did his job. And Zach absolutely did his job there. That W was a perfect placement. He cut off all 4 members of 67 Atoms that were, except for the Volibear, off during that fight from his backline. And his backline was like, oh, okay, here's the Volibear on a silver platter. And they just went ahead and killed it.
When we were saying at the start of the game that it's not because those two teams don't have any wins so far in the tournament that they need to be counted out. Like, this Ledoux
definitely showing why.
I want to see them again. I want to see them play next week. Or even right now. Just after, can we schedule another game for that?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just keep watching them all night. But absolutely, and Ledoux, we didn't know what they were going to look like, as they hadn't actually played a game until tonight. Definitely showing their opponents, although we say that 67 Atoms finding a fight that they like, as they are able to take down the Poppy for the Volibear, but all 4 are extremely low. And we are going to start seeing a cleanup now, as Zach getting a double kill. Lucian,
he's fearless.
Definitely 67 Atoms way overstaying their welcome. You got to kill. All of your members are at less than half health. You needed to back up. Like, there was no excuse for being there. You were all below half health. You had only been fighting 2 members of Ledoux. You knew the rest were moving towards you. You needed to leave. And they did not do that, and it ended up costing them almost another ace. Definitely a 4-for-2 is not what 67 Atoms need right now, especially because it was the Poppy and the Zac. Although that did ruin the Zac's perfect game.
Yeah. Speaking of overstaying their welcome, Zach trying to go a little bit too greedy, tower diving in order to try to get the brown kill, but failing at it, and getting his first death of the game.
His first death
paying for it. Dearly.
I shall now play a sad song on the world's smallest violin for him.
Yeah.
Hardly considered throwing at this point, though, as 1 kill, or as 1 death, will not be able to close the gap that he has created for his team. The Volibear actually being able to shut down the Cassiopeia, but the Cassiopeia immediately trading the kill on their Victor. As here comes Zach yet again, and Poppy. Volibear passive being popped. Zach going to go ahead and ult towards the Braum, dealing some good damage there. Poppy and Volibear and Cho'Gath all just having a little wet noodle fight up at the top of mid, while Jinx is trying to kite the Zac, but he is just so tanky at this point. Volibear going to throw Zac backwards as they just jump onto the Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath going to flash, silencing the Zac, knocking him up. That's going to be disengage. Such a huge wet noodle fight. Volibear and Cho'Gath finally starting to get very tanky. Not very easy to blow up, but it will most likely be too little too late, as Ledoux is on the middle inhibitor.
Yeah, I don't really see how they're gonna be able, how 67 Atoms are gonna be able to come back. If they are, though, it's with this fight.
Absolutely, you have 2 Nexus turrets, you need to defend them. You cannot let that base crack. And we are going to see the Zac passive popped by the Jinx. She is quickly shooting down Zac's little blobs, trying to kill him. That he is going to get res just in time. Volibear going to pop ult. Poppy, the sacrifice for her team, and she's going to flash over the wall. She's not even going to be a sacrifice, so she's able to run away. 0-for-0 fight, but definitely in the favor of 67 Atoms.
Yeah, they were scared at the end of that fight. You saw them run off, just wanting nothing to do with this anymore.
And they're still running as Cho'Gath hits a knockup, and that is going to be Vroom Carnation on his Victor getting that kill there. We are starting to see some life from the 67 Atoms team. It unfortunately, as I said, it may be too little too late as they've lost one inhibitor. Their bot lane tower is going down. Cassiopeia blows up the Victor by just sneaking that bush. They not sure what 67 Atoms was thinking. Maybe they were thinking that they should check Baron or that they should do Baron. But Cassiopeia being very easily more than one step ahead, being like 7 or 8 steps ahead, knowing they were going to check, and the Victor of all people face checking. That is not who you want to face check when you have a full health Cho'Gath sitting there.
Especially when you have the blue trinket on Victor.
Absolutely, and that lack of foresight will cost the Baron, which will most likely spell doom for 67 Atoms.
We
in
see
this
them
game.
grouping mid. They see some blood. They want to just.
And we see Zach absolutely blowing up the Jinx, and now just going for more. He's just bouncing all over. He's having a party in their base. Poppy as well, just joining that party.
We can see the
Victor Poppin goes, dropping his stun field to try and help his team out. Zach going to be getting stunned by the Braum passive. Cho'Gath just trying to deal as much AoE damage as possible, but he is a tank. He ults the Zach, does not get a kill. Cassiopeia killing the Braum. Poppy getting an unofficial double kill in there as she then picks up the kill on the Cho'Gath. Cassiopeia picking up the kill on the Victor. The Nexus turret being the MVP as Volibear is able to take down Poppy with it. And Victor taking down Cassiopeia, but it will be too little too late as the Nexus is falling. Ledoux MB proving me wrong, making me eat my words, and taking our first game of the night in what is a commanding bloodbath and a lead of over 19,000, of almost 19,000 gold by the end of it.
We had about 2 kills per minute. It was insane, just relentless aggression from Ledoux. Going in over and over, even if it's over aggression, who cares? We're gonna put on a good show for the viewers. Going in, dying left and right, but managing to take out the Nexus in the end. That was an amazing game.
Showing the teams that see their 0-2 record that, hey, just because we forfeited does not mean we are a team to be taken lightly. And absolutely with a show like that, it does not seem like they will be, as their next opponents will probably be looking at their stats at their games and formulating a plan, most definitely probably going to consider banning away that Zach.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to get Zach or Cassiopeia in their next game, as those two were instrumental in their victory. 26 kills between the two of them, 13 each. Absolutely decimating their opponents.
They had as many kills, like, each of them than the entire blue team combined, like 67 Atoms just not finding the answer. During this game, we're going to see if they're able to bounce back in their next game. Hopefully. For them.
Absolutely, they hopefully will get somewhere in their next game, get some ground, as they are now looking at an 0-4 start on the season, while Ledoux moves up to a position of 1-2.
Definitely a stronger team than a 1-2, judging from this game. So we're going to be looking forward to the next game that they're going to.
We're going to be looking. Absolutely, I will be looking forward to it. LMB, you have made a fan out of me. I will now be watching, and if you lose, that's going to be too unfortunate. It'll be like FlyQuest. I had such high hopes for them, and they only finished 4th.
That kind of thing happens. Like, same thing if you're watching in the EULCS Misfits.
Oh my goodness, yes.
That was just a train wreck. But we're going to be moving on to our next game. We're going to be taking a little break until then, and we'll see you guys soon. And we're back for our next game, which is gonna be I'm gonna let you say it because I love your accent on that one.
It's going to be the team Equipe de Restes versus team Tastes Like Purple. And as you know from last week, Tastes Like Purple, my personal favorite team name in this competition, as I am
Yeah.
partial towards it, as it's an inside joke amongst many of my other league friends. And as we get into the banning lobby, we see very quickly both the Gragas and the Zac being banned. Zac, especially with his performance last game, I can't, or especially with the Zac's performance last game, I can understand why you would want that particular champion to never exist again. And we do see a Fizz ban. Thank you.
Speaking
I
of never
despise
existing
Fizz.
again, like we don't want that to come back. Stop it.
I
With
despise that fish. Riot,
Stop with the 10
stop
fist stuff.
buffing him.
Just don't do it. Don't do it. Stop right now. Like stop.
Riot buffed Fizz again. They need to stop. They just need to stop. I'm going to stop you right there, Riot. That's a bad move. You are a wizard.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just don't.
Just don't do it. Shia LaBeouf, please. Just don't do it.
Like,
and we see the Ezreal ban.
Are good dreams, but that's not a good dream. Like, stop.
Yeah, Fizz and Yasuo mains. Yeah, go cry yourself to sleep. Go die in a hole. We don't like you.
Zed mains now are fine. Before
Zed mains are fine. He's okay. Like he's really annoying, but as long as you're not a dick, I'm not gonna be annoyed when you beat me in lane.
Chad is asking for some Voltsy trash talk, but we're not gonna trash talk like somebody who's not even good. Like, what's the point? I'm not gonna do that.
Voltsy? Psh, I don't even know his name. Forget him.
Like, what do you want us to say? Oh, he's gonna feed. Everybody knows that already. Like, seriously. Come on.
I mean, all you gotta do is put him on Jhin, and you watch him lose every single game. It's his most played champion, and he has less than 50% win rate. What are you gonna do, man?
It's Voltsy. Who cares?
Now my boy Triquadian, on the other hand, see, he's got a 67% win rate on his Jinx. He's my boy.
But they won't be tasting like purple this game with the Lulu ban. So
I've noticed that they don't want them to have Lulu for some reason. And it makes me laugh because their support doesn't play Lulu.
Maybe it's for Lulu mid. We saw it today, so.
We did see it today. Although their mid laner doesn't play Lulu.
Well, they won't be tasting like purple. That's for sure.
They definitely won't be tasting like purple. As a Tristana ban also came down, so you can't even have a purple ADC.
But you can have a Rakan, which is or Rakan, or however you want to call him.
Rakan! I am Rakan. Rakan, definitely a very strong pick in the new champion, and I am very, very happy to see him being played by Equipes de Restes. Definitely something that I would pick up myself. I've been spamming him a lot.
You could now even get Xayah to go with him.
Absolutely. They have left Xayah up. They have, however, picked the Karma. And honestly, this would be a good place to pick the Xayah, as the counter supports to Xayah are things like the Thresh, the Blitzcrank, the Nautilus, something that reduces her range, as most of Xayah's damage comes from her E, calling all of her feathers back to her and stunning anybody in between her and the feathers if more than 3 hit. So definitely the Blitzcrank, the Nautilus, and the Thresh have been the only counter supports found, as they can lessen that distance between her and the feathers. And certainly
I can also see like grabbing a very strong ADC early, like a Draven and not Ezreal because he's banned. But
we will be seeing the Xayah. I love this Equipe de Restes team. If you are now on the side of Tastes Like Purple, your ADC picks have just become very limited, as she will destroy most everybody. Who, with the Ezreal band, the only 2 counters that are left up now are Caitlyn and Misfortune. Oddly enough, Misfortune seems to be the strongest ADC against Xayah, as her double up range is significantly larger than that of Xayah's Q and E. So definitely something to consider picking up there, as we do see a Zed being locked in for Toe Knuckles in the mid lane.
He's going to want to get that Xayah and just punish her for existing.
Yes, he is Varus. I have not seen too many Varuses against Zaya. His Q definitely outranging Zaya's.
Mhm.
However, if he ever looks to ult, that is where Zaya will be able to absolutely punish him, as she will be able to ult, become untargetable, forcing him to miss and place feathers all the way behind Varus, which will spell his death. It will absolutely spell his death. However, with a Graves being picked up here, I have also seen Zaya jungle, I have to admit, and it did succeed extremely well. And there was
Well,
a recon support.
seeing that there's a Graves being picked, unless there's a major twist there, we're gonna be seeing some Zaya ADC and some Graves jungle. I would
I
have
will just
loved to
say
see the other
all
way
of the
around, but
cheese.
yeah.
All of the cheese is what I want to see. If they cheese me, I will be very happy. And we do see a Nautilus coming in, so Nautilus might actually be headed. No, he will be headed top. Nautilus, maybe you may have wanted to stick the Karma mid, the Zed top, and the Nautilus at support, just to give yourself that advantage against the Zaya,
Yeah.
as
But
she
Nautilus top
is.
against Poppy is a pretty good matchup, and if you can get the Nautilus going, he's gonna be able to just stick to that Zaya and soak up all the damage.
The one thing that you don't want to happen now is you don't want Zaya to get ahead,
Hmm.
as she is actually a tank shredder when you build her with her Infinity Edge, her Essence Reaver, and then you go straight. If you go straight for crit chance on Zaya, she is known to melt face on tanks, even in late game being better than Vayne
But
at melting
Lefty, I
tanks.
think you're forgetting something. It's
What am I three?
Volsy playing Zaya. So he's not gonna snowball, he's not gonna be able to do anything. He's just gonna die there over and over and go 0-10-0.
I should have known. I should have known. I'm just so hype. I wanted to know if the new champions are going to be played tonight, and they are in game 2. The new champions, and they are on the same team. What would be very interesting, and this is a pipe dream, if you will. I would love to see Riot write a code where Zaya and Rakan cannot be on opposite teams. Just can't happen.
Yeah.
If somebody picks Zaya, you cannot pick Rakan if you're on the other team, and vice versa, because you know you're going to see somebody at some point troll them. Someone will first pick Zaya or Rakan, and the immediate response will be to pick the other.
Or if they cannot, or if they can be on opposing team, they cannot attack each other. Like it just doesn't do damage.
Oh, that would be so troll. That
Like going from both sides, and they cannot CC each other. They cannot do anything to each other. That
would
would
be so
actually be an
troll.
interesting mechanic.
That would make LCS teams never pick Zaya or Rakan for fear of the other team.
But
Uh,
sure, you cannot hurt the other, but the other cannot hurt you as well. So
yeah, you would never have a first pick Zaya or a first pick Rakan at that point.
it would be very interesting, I feel. Riot, please make it happen. Two champions that cannot hurt each
No,
other.
no, don't make it even harder to shoutcast. Oh, that would make it impossible.
Oh
And there
yeah,
goes Rakan
Zaya using
using the
all the skills,
quickness.
but Rakan not taking any damage because
And
that bullshit
Rakan using the
troll.
quickness, charming everybody except for Zaya. Why didn't he charm Zaya? Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. Riot. Oh. So, heading into this matchup, I certainly see uh, there's only one tank for either team in the form of their top. I said that too
Well,
soon. There are two
Amumu kind of
tanks
counts
on
as
the
a
side of
tank.
Tastes Like Purple with his Amumu,
Yeah.
and that is Panther's pocket pick, as I saw him play Amumu last week to an extremely high success of. Actually, Panther seems to be one of the key pieces to the Tastes Like Purple team, as his Zach has an over 6.0 KDA in ranked with a 60% win rate and 77 games played. His Warwick having a 63% win rate, his Rengar having a 63% win rate, his Ivern having an over 5.0 KDA, his Amumu having an almost 5.0 KDA. Just absolutely,
He's a very strong jungler.
he's a very strong jungler. Shows a lot of presence as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
just looking at his most recent games, he just has a lot of strong presence throughout the game. Definitely something that Equipus de Arestes needs to be aware of heading into this game.
If you had to
It
give the
needs to be.
advantage to one of the two teams, would it be to Panthers team because they have this amazing jungler, Oh, would it be the Zaya Rakan combo?
See, that's my problem. I want to root for Zaya and Rakan because they're the new champions, but I also got to vote for Taste Like Purple because they're my favorite.
Well, in my
I don't know.
case, it's easy because, of course, I'm gonna have to go with my boys at the Equipe de Rest. Shout out to you, boys. Being French Canadian, I don't have a choice but to follow their team.
Man.
So
Well, I mean, if we're going to run by nationality, then I have to root for Taste Like Purple.
well, I want the Zaya and Rakan to do well, especially when they have the cosmic uh skins looking at each other in the eyes. Such a sweet couple.
But it's Voltsy.
Yeah, true.
Let me
True.
just shut you down
You
there.
got me
Let me
there.
just shut you down. Also, looking at the teams, Tastes Like Purple having masteries all the way across the board on their champions, while Equipe de Restes only having mastery on their Poppy and Graves. But as we run them down, on the side of Equipe de Restes, we will have Never in the top lane, Lunar Rabbit at jungle, Anger Ranger in the mid lane, Voltsy at ADC, and that's definitely not a girl at support.
Well, he's playing Rakan, so we all know that. On the opposite side, we're gonna have Quadzi at top lane on his Nihilus, Panther, the scary jungler on a Mumu, Toe Knuckles, which isn't a very and kind of gross name for a Zed mid, so it fits. Triquadian at Varus ADC and Silver Spade on the support. Looks like pretty standard masteries and summer spells across the board. Anivia with Barrier might be a little bit exotic, but nothing too fishy going on.
Yeah, most Anivias will run either Barrier or Ghost as they want to have their egg passive popped as little as possible.
I would have rather have seen an exhaust coming out of her, especially with the Zed, the Varus. They're gonna want to kill you. So
Absolutely. Absolutely something. Oh, and I think Tastes Like Purple is going to give me what I want. They are pinging towards that bottom side. They might be thinking about an invade here.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
They're going to do it.
I'm being told that I'm probably super quiet right now. All right, I'm gonna.
They're going to do it. They're doing it. They did kind of an invade. Yay! Tastes Like Purple.
Something.
Giving me what I want. They did. They walked into the bottom tri-bush, and Zion and Rakan were right there, though. So they kind of had to leave, which is okay. At least they went into the enemy jungle. They didn't just sit in their jungle and bore me to death. We do have very standard starts, although the Nautilus top on the side of Tastes Like Purple taking a cloth armor instead of a corrupting potion, probably just looking for that early damage reduction, if you will, taking less damage from the Poppy top lane.
That's kind of weird, because usually you'll start with a Doran ring on Nala's top. So
in the
going for
LCS, you will certainly see a Doran's ring,
Mm.
but in lower elos, you'll see most of them start with a corrupting
Oh,
potion, which is a little weird.
but both of those could be interesting choices. But Clockpot is really odd. Let's put it that way.
It is.
We're gonna see if he can
It's
put it to
certainly geared
use, though.
towards. It's certainly geared towards the later game,
Yeah.
stopping the Graves, the Zaya, and even some of the early Poppy damage as she is AD. We did also see Anivia pick up a Dark Seal, so she is very confident in wanting to get kills.
She doesn't think Zed's gonna find an answer to her pick. We're gonna be able to see if her ballsiness is gonna be able to match her skill in game. We'll see.
Absolutely, we will find out. As Nautilus took Q level 1, a little bit weird on Nautilus again, as most Nautilus top lanes will prefer to take E for the wave clear, and we do see Zaya going extremely low at 4 health at one point. in that fight. Wow, absolutely a very close call there for the Xayah.
Well, it had to be expected. It's Voltzy.
It is Voltzy.
And
And
once
also
again,
Voltzy took W level 1, which is not something that most Xayah players do, although she is new, so we are still having people feel out the champ and try different things. The typical start at the moment is to start her Q so that she can start stacking feathers right away and just start throwing them out and then take E at level 2 so that she can get an easy stun as she will throw out 4 or 5 extra ranged feathers, which will give her a very large spray pattern to pull from.
she just got a lot of HP back, so that's really going to be helpful for her to try to just
Rakan's
deal with the
Rakan's Q
aggression.
is something
Yeah.
Rakan's Q is something that is very helpful for that, as whenever he hits an enemy champion or epic monster in the form of dragon or baron only, he will gain a ring around him that will heal him and his allies. Uh, and his dash being a shield that has a doubled range when it is towards Xayah, and being able to be activated twice with no extra cost. He is a very helpful laner for a Xayah, as Xayah is more of a hyper carry. She takes a while to get going. So Rakan definitely helps out with that early pressure that she has to deal with.
There you go. Sorry for the problems on stream about the sound. It's supposed to be clean now, so that's perfect.
Alrighty.
Getting us both to the same exact voice, being able to hear our Left Eight's
Joint
beautiful voice and my ugly French accent. So that's perfect.
And we do see Graves, the Graves being collapsed upon, being able to dash over the wall of the Dragon Pit to try and escape. Toe Knuckles, however, not very happy with the Graves escaping. Going to put some damage on Rakan. And First Blood will be going, although I did miss it, to the bot lane. I am assuming it was a Varus Q
Varus managed to find Xayah walking out from the tri-bush, trying to leave and go back to lane from drag, and he kind of pummeled her to the ground. Kind of like this. Kind of like this.
Very aggressive. Turret diving the Nautilus, and will be taking him down, as we have many pings coming out from the side of Tastes Like Purple. They're going to want to deal with that. Graves dropping very low in his jungle, as Rakan's going to go and shield him, make sure he doesn't die. And he will be backing. We see on the side of Tastes Like Purple, we have both the Amumu and the Nautilus building health at the moment, as Nautilus heading towards, not sure what item he's quite heading towards, most likely his Sunfire Cape.
Both are trying to get as tanky as possible, which isn't that much of a surprise.
Absolutely.
Rushing for that late game. Thing. And when you see the ADCs, you can understand why. Like, Nautilus needs to be able to tank Xayah. Somehow.
And it seems like they're both rushing the Bomby Cinder, since not only is that extra tank stats, that is extra help in their wave clear and jungle clear, as it's passive to deal damage to all the enemies around them. Although that does suck when you're trying to turret dive, because you take instant aggro.
Yeah. Well, usually as a tank, you want instant aggro anyway, so...
Only when you tower dive, not when you're just trying to get free damage on a turret.
Yeah.
Then the enemy laners just to walk kind of close to you, and you start taking shots.
That's annoying. But that's what you get when you're building tank. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes tanks. So yeah, you deserve to die in a fire. Get it?
Absolutely. We did see just now, or I saw just now, a very good farming under turret by Poppy. That is not a skill that many people at lower elos possess, as she was able to farm a minion wave of about 10 to 12 minions without losing a single one under the turret. A very, very good show there.
And it's showing now in top lane, like in the farm difference. That's what it gave her, basically.
Absolutely. The kill difference was able to give her that early Spectre's Cowl, which gave her the MR and health needed to keep trading with this Nautilus. And he is not able to do much, if any, damage to her, as she gets her shield from her passive. Nautilus also just walking way too close every single time to that to the walls, as Nami, or not Nami, as Poppy's E has been able to just punish him every single time.
So far, I must say that I'm disappointed, though. This game is very slow compared to the other one, but then again, Poppy might be looking to prove me wrong, almost taking down Nautilus top. Just missing that
Again.
little bit of mana for the ult. How sad.
Unfortunate. But
Next time.
we do see while the top lane of Equipus de Restes is starting up. Oh, and Zed just stole that Scuttlecraft from the
Yeah.
Graves. That was very
Who
well
needs
played.
Smite?
Yeah, well, Equipus does have their tank and top lane getting fed. We do have Varus starting a commanding lead on the Xayah, as he has almost a 30 CS lead, 25 CS by now.
Yeah.
And
Really
they go
punishing her
aggressive
pick.
on the side of Equipe de Restes. That is something that Xayah and Rakan do very well, is they are able to go very aggressive for a very short amount of time in the form of Rakan's WQ, and then just immediately dash out in the form of his E. Rakan taking the ult from Varus there, putting the trade in the favor of Equipus de Restes.
And two ganks at the same time. Poppy going hard against top lane while bot lane is getting by Graves. Lots of damage, but it doesn't look like it's going to translate to any kills. Maybe this will, though. Toe Knuckles just going all
The
out.
barrier going to be popped there as...
Oh.
not again, I want to say Nami for some reason on every champion. Anivia getting the kill onto the Zed, and Poppy getting the kill on Nautilus, but Amumu immediately trading back the Poppy kill.
Everybody dying everywhere on the map.
Everybody did. As we did have Xayah die in the bot lane as well. To that three-man push, which is rather unfortunate for Equipus de Restes, as the last thing you want as a Xayah, having played her about 5 or 6 games, once she starts getting behind 2 or 3 kills, and especially when she starts getting behind 30 or 40 CS, it becomes a struggle to get back in the game, as she has to build items like her Caulfield's Warhammer and build resistance items instead of being able to go straight for things like her Infinity Edge, her Essence Reaver, her critical items that she needs to start doing damage.
Like, look at this. Varus just not caring at all, taking the trade.
And Graves walking to the bot lane, he's going to find out why you don't do this, as Karma and Varus flashing aggressively forward, almost taking the Xayah down with a Q, almost taking her down for her 3rd death, and that's going to force most likely a back, which will put Varus's CS lead even further ahead if he decided to stay, but he's going to decide to back as he is at about half health and sitting on a considerable amount of gold.
And Poppy just keep on bullying this Nautilus top lane. Really
no,
making
Varus
him...
did decide to stay.
Now he's backing, yeah.
Now he's backing. Yeah,
Not too sure for a little second, hesitating, but...
He wanted the wave. It was a cannon wave. You want to get the cannon waves.
ADCs are greedy, what can we say? Always trying to soak up all that farm.
Filthy ADC mains.
You deserve, like, the ADC in 2017 meme.
Yeah.
All of you.
What are they worth? I'm a Ziggs main. I play bot lane all the time. I'm actually one of those filthy Ziggs bot mains. Used to be. Not anymore. Now I'm a Misfortune main.
Well, you know, we were talking about, like, champions that the mains just are horrible persons. With Zed before, and now, like...
Oh, Karma! Making a bad decision there on the bot lane. Taking the Blast Cone over to try and clear a ward, not knowing that Xayah and Rakan were there, and they punish hard, forcing her flash so that she doesn't lose her life there.
Meanwhile, Poppy just going aggressive, tower diving in a 1v2, getting the Nautilus with the shield, and she's going to escape away with her life.
Well, hopefully. Amumu might still get a bandage toss. Nope. He is going to give up. And Zed was trying to roam up there. If Poppy does not know he's... Oh, she does know he's there. Otherwise, I would say that she might be able to... She's toying with them. As Anivia is going to get a lot of free damage on that turret in mid lane. slowing down the minion wave.
Varus
And we do see
juking.
Varus juking the crap out of Rakan and Graves, getting a double kill there. He is just extending his lead, going for his Bork at this point, as he has a Bilgewater Cutlass. He also has a BF sword started, so most likely also building simultaneously his Infinity Edge. Although it might be an Essence Reaver, you never know, but it should be an Infinity Edge.
But the movement forward of Varus, usually when you want to juke something, move forward. Nobody's expecting it. Everybody thinks you're going to be backing off. So move forward and you're going to dodge it and turn that into double kill. Every time. If it doesn't work, blame it on me.
I blame you. As we see, Tastes Like Purple having a slight advantage right now of about 2k. And that all comes from their bot lane having 4 kills and 35 CS up on the Xayah. That is the entirety of their lead right now. They are resting squarely upon the shoulders of their ADC, saying, please carry me.
We're going to have to see if it's going to be enough, though, because meanwhile in top lane, Poppy's getting fed. She's now 3-1 with a healthy CS amount. Healthy CS lead over Nautilus, so maybe she's going to be able to tank him.
Absolutely. At this point, it is a little too early to tell, but it is absolutely a concern that Tastes Like Purple needs to be aware of. However, an early tank shredding item from the Varus would make Poppy's lead almost insignificant.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what's going to happen, although if Tastes Like Purple plays it right, we could very easily see the Poppy's lead becoming negligible. As she goes aggressive on Nautilus once again, Nautilus is going to try and pull her back into tower range, but she knows that tower range very well, as she has been able to dance outside of it and not take too much damage.
Very strong Poppy play by Never. So far, like, it's been clean.
It has been, as she continues to go aggressive, and Nautilus honestly not respecting the damage output that she's able to bring at all, not respecting it well at all. As we see skirmish for vision in the Tribush, in the bot lane, multiple wards being traded back and forth by the two teams, and now we have Karma wanting to clear that control ward, and she will, finally, ending that vision war.
For now. For now.
It'll start again. Just you wait. Just you wait. Anivia, meanwhile, finishing her Rod of Ages, and having her tier stacking. How many stacks does she have on that? She actually has almost 300 stacks, so nearly halfway to completion. And that completion will be going a lot faster as she, or once she combines it into her Archangel Staff.
Yeah. We're going to be able to see how fast it's going to be. Lots of...
Meanwhile, in mid
she's
lane,
ready now.
Anivia taking that turret very low. She might not get it with this wave, but she might still try. She's one hit away, but red team, it's like purple, just barely, less than a second, beating them to the first turret, and Karma will be ending the Xayah as Xayah ulted, trying to make a difference there, going untargetable, but not going to be enough, as well as the Varus with his Deathfire touch going to be able to take down Rakan, and they want more. They are still moving forward. Anivia, though, making an appearance bot lane, shutting down the Varus, and Karma will also be dying to the Graves, going a little bit too aggressive there, but they did get the first turret. They did get a couple of kills, trading 2 for 2 and first turret. That is worth for the side of Tastes Like Purple.
Yeah, definitely. Very strong rotation, just getting lots of members down there, grabbing the turret, and we're going to see how they're going to try to extend that lead even more from now on. Because right now it's just a 2k gold lead, it's not the end of the world. So we'll see, will they try to just go rush mid and get some other turrets? Will they rotate top? Or will they be happy just sitting bot lane and farm to increase their advantage? And who knows, maybe even try to go for some more picks on Xayah. We know what Poppy's going to be doing, though. Tower diving Nautilus.
If I was Tastes Like Purple, my recommendation to them right now would be Send your bot lane to top, lane swap with Nautilus, as the Xayah is so far behind, Nautilus won't die to her as long as he plays safe. And the bot lane can start shutting down Poppy, making her
Yeah.
respect their damage and their feed.
It looks
As
like Taste for Purple is going to be going for the mid lane, though. Getting
as they
everybody
do go
there.
very aggressive on the Anivia, popping her passive. That will be her life. There's no way she survives that, as the Varus is just so fed, getting a kill onto the Anivia. But we will be seeing a trade of the top turret
Yeah.
coming out on the side of Equipus Data Estes, as Nautilus just kind of sits there, not quite sure what. I'm not quite sure if he knows what he wants to do. As we see the side of Taste Like Purple rotate for this Infernal Drake, a very good call on their part. They see the Poppy and the Rakan in top lane. They know that the Anivia is dead for another 5 seconds. You should absolutely go for this Infernal Drake, and they will pick it up with very little trouble.
I would be very scared right now for the blue side. Just those Varus Qs that, like, if you were there when the Legolas build was something, we're gonna see a little bit of that like today. I feel just chunking people with every single Q, spamming it over and over.
And meanwhile, speaking of all that damage, all that Varus damage, we have Varus taking down with his Karma the mid lane turret, the mid lane outer turret, and Nautilus actually able to finally push his top lane wave into Poppy's turret for the first time in quite a while this game. As we see him starting to get some tanky items, he's got his Sunfire cape, he's got another Ruby Crystal, another cloth armor, he's got his Mobies, and we have Varus having completed his Blade of the Ruined King and his Berserker's Greaves and heading towards his Infinity Edge, actually buying his Infinity Edge just now,
Already.
spending that gold that he got from the Dragon and from that fight previously with the Anivia and the turret kill. All those things definitely adding towards his Infinity Edge. Karma, with her Aether Wisp, most likely going to be heading for an Ardent Sensor so that her shields protect that Varus even more, as it will be very difficult, if not impossible, to kill him once these shields and this front line in the form of a Mumu and Nautilus start working their way into the power region of tanks and shield bots, essentially.
What do you think of a Quicksilver Sash this quickly coming out from Xayah?
I think it's very soon. It's way too soon. Also, other than the Varus ult and the Karma stun, you really don't have a lot that you can QSS. You can't QSS the Nautilus ult or the Nautilus Q unless you're really fast with those particle effects. And you also don't really have a reason to QSS his basic attack stun that he will land due to his passive. So probably not a good buy from Xayah here. You're already really far down. You don't even have a completed item yet. You have all of your items for an Essence Reaver, but you still haven't combined it. And you're 0-3, and you're 60 CS down from the Varus. You need to be stacking damage. You need to be in a side lane farming on your own, just free farming as much as possible, trying to make yourself relevant, because you're a hyper carry. Meanwhile, in the topside jungle, we do have Graves, Poppy, and the Rakan getting a pick onto the Karma, who went a little bit too far forward into the enemy
She
jungle.
was looking forward to tower dive, but wasn't really watching her minimap. She should have seen that some people were missing from everywhere, and she
We do
learned
have
that the hard
Nautilus
way.
TPing bot to save that turret that the 2 damage deal, or the Xayah and Anivia have pushed into the turret. And at the same time, we have the Zed dealing a lot of damage to the Graves in the form of his ult.
Not taking him down, though.
No, not taking him down, but definitely forcing him off that turret defense, as he allows Varus to put a lot of damage into that inner middle turret.
Rakan and Poppy are going to be coming to just make sure the turret stays up, and even might be looking to counter push mid. Grouping 4, Graves is not theirs, but maybe they can grab a pick. The Anivia Q missing just barely. Or
That
maybe it would.
Karma Shield speed
Yeah.
allowing the Nautilus to dodge it and most likely keep his life, and Karma dealing a good amount of burst damage with her Mantra Q. A very, very strong ability for both Karma support and especially Karma mid lane. Mantra Qs, those are not something that you screw with.
They hurt.
They do hurt a lot, as we see another one taking down Rakan's passive. Although Rakan's passive it does seem a little bit lackluster to me, as it is just a small shield that you get every 30 seconds.
Well, it's
It
like
definitely
Yasuo.
helps.
Every bit is just annoying, and
Actually, Anivia catching the Karma there against the wall in a glitch there for a second.
why use a wall when you
Rito.
can stun them?
Yeah, Rito, please nerf. Karma was stuck there the entire duration of the wall. But still, nothing was able to come from that, as Karma's team did an excellent job of protecting her, making sure that the side of Equipos de Orestes could not move up to contest or try to move in for the kill.
Very nice try, though, trying to see if they can get a pick or not, and not overcommitting once the wall landed, not risking their lives, being like, oh, we don't think we can get it. Let's not do it. Let's just not go for it. Because the game isn't that far off. Like, right now, it's about
It's a
1K.
very close game.
1.5K.
It is. Yeah, it is only 1.5K, but there is looking to be there's some scuffling and positioning around the dragon. Definitely teams wanting to fight here. It is only a Cloud Drake, but especially on the side of Equipos de Orestes with Rakan, a Cloud Drake is very useful to him, as his ult, the quickness, that just allows him to move so fast, especially when you do start coin. Unfortunately, Rakan did instead combine for Eye of the Oasis instead of getting Talisman of Ascension, which, when you use the quickness, you just want to move, you want to go supersonic fast. You want to charm as many people as quickly as you can and just let your team blow them up. While at the same time, you want to be tanky so you don't die while you're charging everybody. We do see Anivia go ahead and aggro the dragon, which Tastes Like Purple says that's fine, we were going to do it anyway, and they start taking the dragon,
There's going to
pulling
be a
it out
fight
of
for
the
it,
pit.
I feel.
There probably will be, but
Poppy
so far, the
TPing.
Zed and the Nautilus doing an excellent job of keeping the people on the bottom side, the Xayah and Graves, away. And there is a fight erupting now, as we see many ults being blown. A Mumu ult, the Varus ult. Varus going to be taking down the Rakan. Nautilus dropping very low. He is the trade back kill, the Poppy getting him. But Zed is able to pick up the Graves. And we do see a potential trade as Xayah ults the Amumu, stunning him, and Anivia will be trading that kill back, as it is now a 2-for-2, but still in the favor of Tastes Like Purple, as they did get the dragon on that play.
Great play of Poppy, though, just completely zoning out the Varus, preventing him from using his 7 kills to help the team fight.
Equipos de Orestes, though, now in full retreat, as their 3 members that are left alive are extremely low, while we do have a healthy Karma, Varus, and Zed. That fight went very well for Tastes Like Purple. They lost the members that they could afford to lose. They lost their 2 tanks, which is exactly what you want. You want your Nautilus and Namu to go in there to deal a bunch of damage, to force the enemy team to pay attention to them, because they're just so in your face. And Varus going to be actually forcing the Anivia off the turret with those Qs. They just hurt so much right now.
Bellies, L'équipe des Restes had some time to bring out every single person to mid lane, make sure that trade doesn't fall down, so Anivia kind of did her job there, stalling for time and making sure they can keep the objective and not throw it away.
Absolutely, they did slow the bleeding on that one, as Taste Like Purple did swing the gold, another K in their favor, as they were able to pick up that Drake and a few kills. And we see, it looks like we have almost, let's see, a recurve bow and a Zeal, a Runin's Hurricane being built for the Varus, as that is combined into a Zeal. So yes, that will be a Runin's coming down very soon. And we did have Xayah finally finishing her Essence Reaver and getting a recurve bow. Not quite sure what she's building there.
I would like to
with
see
her.
tier 2 boots personally coming out for Zaya.
Yes, I would love to see that as well, but instead choosing to go for the recur bow, making me think that she will be going a crit damage build, which is something that Zaya players have been doing to good success. We are going to see the Mantra E, the Amumu ult. They are just burning down the Anivia. Anivia going to pop Zhonya's, trying to keep herself alive. That will also be her passive, but that will not be enough as Varus is just going to shred her. As the Nautilus forcing the Zaya to ult defensively to try and escape, she will be going down as well to the Amumu. Tastes Like Purple now in a commanding position in this game, as they have now taken down the mid lane and ADC of the side of Equipus de Restes.
You
And we
cannot have
see,
your team splitting up that much at 30 minutes in the game. They had Poppy top, Graves pushing bottom, then 3 members trying to push mid at the same time. You will get engaged upon and give up Nasher.
yeah, we did
However,
have a 1-3. We did have a 1-3-1 there coming out for Equipus de Restes, which isn't bad as long as you can stop the 5-man engage. And the Anivia, the Zaya, and Poppy, or excuse me, and Rakan were definitely way too far out there. If you're going to play a 1-3-1, you have to be ready to deal with the 5-man push mid,
yeah.
and instead you have to go into a full defensive mindset and let your other 2 lanes push, which the Graves did get a tower, but Varus is going to be trading that back in the top lane. And Poppy's ult is going to be used, but not fully, so it is going to have 3/4 of the cooldown refunded.
Nice push by Graves, trying to make the most out of a bad situation, taking 1 tower bot and almost a second one. So very good push, definitely trying to keep the gold as even as possible, stalling for late game. We'll be able to see in the next few minutes. Isn't going to be enough.
As much as I would like to say it would be enough, I am not too confident at this point, as we do still have the Zaya extremely far behind. She is a hyper carry, and just like Jinx, if hyper carries don't get a lot of farm and a lot of feed in the game, they do become virtually irrelevant. And that is what we are starting to see here.
Well, she
As
is 100 CS behind the Varus. And Karma
absolutely, and 8
relentless, no
kills.
letting Anivia back at all. Just keep on
Doing some good doing
queuing,
some good recall control.
queuing over and over, just really delaying that huge wave
And
clear.
that will be the QSS out of Zaya as she does QSS the Varus ult. Although not sure that she had actually positive, she did not have to use it there, as Nautilus going to be ulting the Anivia and taking her down, as Anivia does use Zhonya's to try and save her life, but it's not going to be enough.
That's also going to be mid-trade falling down to the Nautilus's anchor. And maybe even bot turret. We can see Tastes Like Purple trying to make a push for it. And
They
slowly
are
but
going to
surely,
get it,
yeah.
as they are forced to back off, as it is a 4v3 situation. And with the Nautilus continuing to threaten their base, they need to make some decisions here. They need to either engage on the Nautilus and let their bot fall, or they need to keep dealing with this siege, which clearly isn't working for them, as they are losing objectives twice. They are losing twice as many objectives with this current plan.
Yeah. A very tough decision, but I feel like they need to engage on the bot's lane. Nautilus isn't there, he's out of mana, he cannot join the fight. But at the same time, engaging when you have that Varus in front of you, backed up by an Amumu, that's a hard call to make.
Yes, and Tastes Like Purple did go ahead and get that bot inhibitor turret. So too much indecision on the side of Equipes de Restes, as they get the inhibitor turret and back out, and now they're going to get Dragon as well. And that will be a very quick Dragon going over to the side of Tastes Like Purple, as they now have a Fire Drake, a Cloud Drake, and an Ocean Drake.
A little bit of everything.
They have a little bit of everything to Equipes de Restes only Drake, which is a Cloud Drake. So we will be seeing the Elder Drake next.
Yeah. We're past 30 minutes, that's going to be up for grabs, and I feel like Tastes Like Purple will be looking forward to just grab it and end the game off of it.
Absolutely. They could also choose to pick up Baron, as that will be, as definitely Karma is sweeping the area, setting up for that potential, as Baron will be coming up in a couple of minutes as well. So definitely they could even look to get both buffs. They are very far ahead at this point to where they probably could threaten both buffs, win a team fight, and then take both buffs and win the game. So on the side of Equipus de Restes, they need to be extremely careful. They need to be watching the map. They need to look for a fight that they can take, and they need to take it, and they need to just survive at this point. As we see Amumu engaging on the bot lane with the Nautilus. Xayah going to be ulting the wrong direction, as the Varus just going to be blowing up both the Rakan and the Xayah with his ultimate.
That's going to be the tread falling down, unless Anivia can be Anivia and just wave clear everything as it comes up.
Anivia is going to wave clear, but that is going to be the Mantra E, and they are going to go ahead and start diving the Anivia. As the Nautilus does get stunned, the turret doing very little to the Nautilus in the way of killing him. Nautilus did drop below 1,000 health, but he is at this point very tanky. His early losses to Poppy not meaning a whole lot at this point, as he is now just doing his job. He is a super tank.
He's a tank. He can throw the anchor to engage. He can ult somebody who's annoying. That's all you need. You don't need damage. You're a tank.
And due to Anivia and Graves staying at their top turret, trying to defend an inner turret, we have on the side of Tastes Like Purple taking down the mid inhibitor turret. At this point, Equipus de Restes is spreading themselves in the wrong directions. They're defending inner turrets when they should definitely be focusing on defending their inhibitor turrets. Now the base is going to be broken wide open very shortly, as they have only one inhibitor turret left standing, and 3 exposed inhibitors is not something that you want at this stage in the game. I mean, you don't want it ever.
Yeah.
But
how do you prevent that from happening? Especially when there's a 10-1 Varus in front of you just queuing you over and over until you back off, and that's when they take the turret.
With over 300 CS on his Varus as well.
That's scary.
Completing his Runin's Hurricane. He has a Phantom Dancer. He has Lord Dominic's Regards. He is actually full build at this point, as he also has his Elixir going right now. His Elixir of Wrath. And we have Nautilus with his Sunfire Cape, his Dead Man's Plate, his Spirit Visage. He's going for a Warden's Mail right now. He is extremely tanky. And Rakan face-checking maybe a little bit too close, as he is going to ward clear. But Nautilus not doing much in the line of damage, just surprising him, saying, I'm still here. You need to pay attention to me. And Amumu going to be going ahead and warding up. They are going to try and at least bait this Baron. They might even consider forcing it, or they might teamfight here, as you have a very grouped up Equipus de Restes with an Amumu, with ult standing near you.
And
is this going to be the engagement they look for? Yeah. The Varus ult will go down. The Amumu ult will also go down. Most definitely a lot of damage. Both Redemptions going down. Xayah ulting there. And that is going to just be absolute carnage.
She just doesn't have damage.
That is the GA from Poppy. She will get a trade back on Nautilus, but at that point, the Nautilus is not worth in the slightest. Poppy ult going to be dropped, but Amumu going to be killing the Poppy. And Zed, the barrier going to be a pop from Anivia. She's going to try and stay alive with the GA going down. But Zed having too much damage, he is going to get the ace, as Amumu and Varus are started on Baron. Well, they're more than started. They're finished with Baron.
Yeah. At that point in the game, there's just not a Nashor anymore. They show up like Ivern, take the buff, and that's it.
Varus and they're going to be so far ahead at 10-1 and 5. He has so much gold, so many kills. He's so far ahead of the Xayah, who at this point has just finished her Runaan's Hurricane, just finished her boots. She only has 3 items in a Quicksilver Sash to Varus's full build and Elixir. That kind of deficit is something that you can't come back from in terms of ADC deficit.
Yeah. If there's one way to come back in this game for L'Équipe des Restes, is to get Poppy managing somehow to get that Varus out of position, stunning him for enough time until Anivia stuns him, and just use all your CC, all your damage onto him, keep him locked down, and kill him somehow, some way. You need to be able to do it. If you can't, you're gonna lose the game.
Absolutely,
They do
absolutely
have the CC
something.
to do it. They can still do it. But
But
finding,
definitely, they have to make Varus
yeah,
their number one priority, as he is the person on the side of Tastes Like Purple, putting in most of the work. He's doing all the heavy lifting. As we see them now going for the Elder Dragon as well. It's as I said, they just went ahead, forced a team fight, and took both buffs. Now they can just look to
running
push for
down
the end of the
mid.
game, finding multiple team members of Equipus de Restes in the bottom side jungle. That is going to tell them to go ahead and push this top side.
Yeah, they're gonna go for the clean sweep, make sure nothing stays up, get as far ahead as they can before trying to finish, because going for those two Nexus turrets can be scary, especially against an Anivia who can just stun all of your team in it. So not taking any chance, pushing down top with two buffs, and yeah, really putting the Equipe de Rest on a very short timer, to say the least.
There is a timer on this fuse, as we do see multiple ults being popped, including the wow,
Just
so much damage. Just
everything
wow.
happening.
There's nothing to be said. Varus getting a double kill there, just so much damage exploding. The redemption coming down, keeping the team of Taste Like Purple. They look like they took no damage that fight. I mean, that's all that can be said. Anivia doing her best to try and stop the bleeding, almost taking down the Varus, but he has so much attack speed, so much lifesteal that she can't even get him close.
And that's gonna be the game. Unless, yeah, it's
That is
the
going to
game.
be
The
the
Nexus
game,
is going
as Tastes
down.
Like Purple moves to take down the Nexus. That will be the game, finishing finishing 20k gold ahead of their opponents by the end of that.
What
Absolute decimation.
insane last fight from Taste Like Purple, just putting everything at the same time on many different targets. Left A being unable to cast this game anymore, just at a total lack of words.
Man,
So,
I mean, Tastes Like Purple. That's why they're my favorite team, man. They are I asked, they deliver.
well,
They
they
gave me
are
my
able to show up. They clearly proved it this game with a
they
very strong
proved it this week.
performance.
They proved it last week. Tastes Like Purple gonna be moving up with another win in their column. I don't know where their standings are at the moment. They will be moving up to a record of 3-1, which will place them right behind the number one team, Final Esports, who have yet to lose a game. So
Looking at the
quite
damage chart, we can see just Varus wrecking pandemonium on their on L'Équipe des Restes, just crushing everybody in damage. Nobody's being even close to him. Very,
it.
very solid game. I can see why you like your team. I'm gonna stay with my boys. Vous en faites pas si vous l'avez perdu celle-là. On vous aime quand même. C'est lâchez pas.
They put up quite a good fight. Although something that I did notice from them, I did not see a single recon ult that
Yeah,
entire game.
that's right. It's hard
Not
to
one
see it,
recon ult.
to be honest. Like, the effects are pretty hard to see, but
Well,
I don't
not
remember
only
seeing
that,
it
but
either.
looking at his damage of
Yeah.
under 1,400, there's no way that he could have even used it once, as his ult's standard damage on one champion is 150 at rank 3. There's no way that I don't think he used it once
Or
that game.
maybe.
And if he did, I apologize. And I did not see it, as it is very hard to see, especially with the Rakan skin. But I did not see him use it once, and maybe a missed opportunity there, as a Rakan ult does have the potential to turn a lot of fights, as it will stop your opponents from being able to do anything. They'll be charmed for a good second to second and a half, depending on what rank you have it at.
Well, I enjoyed the Taste Like Purple strategy to deal with that ult. He can ult you if he's already dead. And just, like,
Very
not
true,
giving
very
him a
true.
break.
he took a lot of damage.
Yeah. It was running into a Varus that's 12-1 is kind of hard.
It is absolutely a very difficult thing to face. And for me at least, my MVP was definitely my MVP for this match was Tastes Like Purple's Varus.
Yeah, Triquadian, just
Yeah,
insane work out of him. A masterclass in CS going with 330 CS at 40 minutes. That's a
absolutely, and
very
and
good
having a
number.
KDA of 18.0, it was absolutely positively ridiculous.
Take that, stat cheats.
Take
Stats
that,
sheets.
stat sheets.
Yeah,
Get wrecked, stats.
completely. They're gonna have to make that column wider just for the KDA.
I'll just raise my lighter here and just sing "We Are the Champions." We are the.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you now. I think that's late. That was all for us for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Two very good games, very bloody games. More than that, so we always enjoy watching those. And we're gonna be seeing you. I believe it's next week.
Next week, I will be back, and I would like to thank my new buddy, Lord Tushi, for joining me. And I may see him next week, or Gavinicus may be back. I don't know the whole thing that's going on, but thank you very much for filling in. And we will see everybody next week for week 3 games. I'm very excited.
See you then.